Just wanted to make a short video about Shannon Briggs and his comeback into boxing. There's a lot of people that just like him because he's entertaining, he's funny, yeah, he makes some really good videos like the boat one with Wladimir Klitschko and the restaurant scene with the jug of water. They were all great, funny videos. They were really good for heavyweight boxing. Maybe a lot of people don't appreciate them, but I thought they're hilarious. I've watched them all very many times now. But there's a lot of people that are actually quite serious about Shannon Briggs. Half of people just look at him as a jokey way, he's fun, he's entertaining, wanting to see him do well. I'm one of them, and then there's another half that seem to think he's actually got a chance of beating Tyson Fury, beating Wladimir Klitschko, beating David Hay, beating a lot of guys like this that are still at the top of their game and are still quite young, because Shannon Briggs is old. And even for a 44-year-old boxer, I would say he looks old. Yeah, okay, he's got big muscles, he's 250, 260 pounds still, but his face is heavily wrinkled. He doesn't look like George Foreman did when he was 44. George Foreman looked still quite young, fit and healthy at 44. Shannon Briggs looks old for a 4-year-old boxer.
And a lot of the people that think, yeah, Shannon Briggs is just knocking everybody out really easily and he's looking really oppressive in his comeback fights, I've got to remember that the people he's been fighting have been extremely poor competition compared to what he did 10 years ago. On his comeback fights, the guys he's been fighting are like ranked 500th in the world, 600th in the world, 200th in the world. The best guy he's fought is a guy called Rafael Love. Rafael Love has fought Charles Martin, went 10 rounds with Charles Martin, but Charles Martin actually knocked him out in the 10th round. Rafael Love fought Anthony Joshua, but Anthony Joshua just gave him a completely one-sided bashing for 2 rounds and knocked him on his arse quite easily in the 2nd round, just completely dominated him. He took Shannon Briggs, Rafael Love that is, took Shannon Briggs 10 rounds, and Shannon Briggs won by decision. So it's a good thing that it proves Shannon Briggs can still go a 10-round fight, but if he's struggling with a guy like Rafael Love, who I think's ranked somewhere like 100th, 105th in the world right now, and the younger guys are beating him so easily, it's showing a great decline in Shannon Briggs' performance, because even though Shannon Briggs has more experience, and that really does matter as a heavyweight, experience matters a great deal with dealing with different styles, knowing how to fight someone that's more experienced and less experienced. But he's got that experience, but he just doesn't have the physical ability that these younger guys has, and it's very shown just by looking at that one fight there. The last person Shannon Briggs fought that was really any good was Vitaly Klitschko, and that was back when Shannon Briggs was 38 years old. Vitaly Klitschko I think was 39 at the time, going on 40. Shannon Briggs obviously 38, going on 39. But Shannon Briggs took a hell of a one-sided bashing through that fight. I think he did. He lost every single round of that fight. And that's what's going to happen again, but even worse when he comes up against these top-level guys now. Because even though Vitaly Klitschko was one of the best heavyweights around at that time, him and his brother, Vitaly Klitschko wasn't even at the top of his game at that point either. He had lost some of his speed, he had lost some of his reflexes, he had lost his strength, and he had definitely lost his power punching ability at that time. When Shannon Briggs actually steps up and fights someone like Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, people like that, these guys have still got their power. Okay, Tyson Fury's not as powerful as Anthony Joshua, but these guys have still got their power, they've still got their reflexes, they've still got their speed, they're still young, they're still fresh, and they're just going to completely wipe the floor with Shannon Briggs. I mean, we've seen Shannon Briggs when he's a lot younger fighting Vitaly Klitschko, who by the way was older than him, and he got completely dominated. And it's just going to be the same again when he fights one of these guys. So he's got no chance. I don't know why anyone's really taking him seriously. I mean, I hope he finds what he's looking for in his comeback to boxing. I hope he makes the money he wants, and he gets the kind of attention that he feels like he needs. He feels like he needs to actually have a fun time and a good life, because he looks like he's having a great time right now. But for all the people that think he's going to be beating these young guys again. You just got to look at the level of opposition that Shannon Briggs has been fighting recently, how he performed against Rafael Love compared to Charles Martin and Anthony Joshua, and what happened to him the last time he fought a good heavyweight like Vitaly Klitschko. I mean, I think that was the second worst one-sided bash in Vitaly Klitschko they were given to an opponent. The first one, I think, being Danny Williams. And Shannon Briggs, in a way, was kind of a bit worse than that because it went on the whole 12 rounds. It was one of them fights where you feel like, you know, you may get some bleeding to the brain and actually die after this fight. It was really bad. I mean, yes, I know Shannon Briggs. Yeah, that's what a lot of people will say. Shannon Briggs, yeah, pulled his bicep during that fight, and he's obviously got a scar there, and he had some surgery done to it. Shannon Briggs obviously tries to say it happened before the fight, and he fought the whole fight like that. I think it happened during the fight when he was punching, because you kind of do get sore around there after you've been boxing. And yeah, you could say that maybe it was just to do with the bicep if it was a close fight at all, or even close at the start of the fight, but it wasn't. It was just a completely one-sided bashing. A lot of the rounds were scored 10-8. You know, it was that bad. Even though there was no knockdowns, it was scored that badly because he was just getting beat around the ring and he wasn't landing any punches. And the same thing's going to happen, but probably worse, if he fights Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, etc. now. So that's what I've got to say.